Welcome back to the end of the world, but make it funny. Today, we're diving headfirst into the argle, bargle, and mumbo-jumbo of political discourse, where facts are optional and everyone's yelling like they're auditioning for a WWE SmackDown. Guest, why do you think political debates now sound like a cross between a family Thanksgiving and a pirate mutiny?
Honestly, host, I think it's because nobody actually wants to listen. They just want to win the trophy for most creative insult. If you're not calling someone a flaming dirtbag or a socialist goblin, are you even participating? Frankly, I miss when debates were about who wore the snazziest powdered wig.
Exactly. And it's like both sides think America can only thrive if the other side is vaporized in a volcano of hot takes. Do you think we could swap Twitter for interpretive dance battles instead?
Only if interpretive dance includes aggressive jazz hands to signal policy disagreements. At least then, the worst injury is a sprained ankle, not a national existential crisis. But hey, at least everyone agrees on one thing. Yelling louder makes you more correct.
Let's pivot to empathize sort of. If we try really hard, can we understand our friends on the left, or is it like trying to teach calculus to a goldfish?
With enough patience and a whiteboard, maybe. But to be fair, both sides have their quirks. The left wants a utopia, the right wants more reality TV presidents. It's really just a question of which dystopia you'd rather live in, one with universal basic income or one with unlimited reality show episodes.
And yet, both accuse each other of trying to destroy the country. If only destruction came with better fireworks, at least we'd get a show. How do we bridge this canyon of mutual suspicion?
Start with something everyone loves, free snacks at the negotiating table. If that fails, maybe just accept that agreeing to disagree is the closest we'll get to harmony like a barbershop quartet where everyone's tone deaf.
Transitioning now, let's talk about media coverage. Why is it that when cars are on fire, the news calls it a mostly peaceful protest? Is there a secret journalist lingo where flames mean good vibes and rocks mean free souvenirs?
Absolutely. In the media, mostly peaceful means as long as only 49% of things are ablaze, it's still a picnic. They describe Godzilla rampaging through LA as a lizard expressing himself artistically. Objectivity is out. Creative writing is in.
And don't forget the obligatory interview with a neutral source, usually a guy who once shook hands with a Marine at a baseball game. How do you spot this bias in the wild?
Easy. If the reporter is standing in front of a burning building and says, "We're seeing a passionate display of civic engagement," you know you're watching performance art, not journalism.
Let's hop in our DeLorean and compare the LA riots to Kent State in 1970. Why do pundits love to bring up Kent State as a cautionary tale we just doomed to repeat history? Or is there a discount on riot nostalgia?
I think it's because nothing says, "Let's learn from the past," like misremembering it entirely. Kent State is the go-to for bad things happen when the National Guard meets college kids with bad haircuts. But if you actually look at the polls, most people back then thought the students had it coming fafo, as the kids say now.
So, history gets weaponized, but only after it's been run through a blender and poured over political cereal. Is there a way to use these analogies responsibly, or is it just inevitable clickbait?
Responsible analogy use? That's like asking Twitter to be a place for civil debate. The best we can hope for is that people realize sometimes burning down your own campus gets you a commemorative folk song and a landslide for Nixon.
Segueing now to our recurring segment. Which America are you living in? Why does it feel like the country is split between what the media says and what people actually experience?
Because it literally is. There's the America where the streets are burning, and there's the America where your biggest problem is your neighbor's cat using your lawn as a litter box. The media sees everything through a lens coated in doom, gloom, and whatever was left in the Starbucks dumpster.
And if you try to point out a positive trend, you're accused of being a government shill or, worse, someone who enjoys pineapple on pizza. Is there any hope of reconciling these two realities?
Only if we can get everyone to agree on basic facts. But since we can't even agree on how to pronounce GIF, I'm not holding my breath. Maybe we just need a new reality show. America's next top narrative.
Let's march boldly where few dare tread. Why do some people seem to care more about gangsters' rights than, say, the victims of crime? Is there a secret empathy lottery I missed?
It's all about narrative roulette. The media spins the wheel, and wherever it lands, that's the outrage of the week. If you're a gangster with a tragic backstory, you get the spotlight. If you're a plumber paying taxes, you get a bill. It's a kind of moral sudoku no one really knows the rules.
And the refrain, "no one is above the law," gets chanted like it's a pop song, but apparently only applies to people caught jaywalking in front of a camera. How did this double standard get so out of hand?
Simple. Consistency is exhausting. Outrage is easier when you can just pick and choose your targets like toppings at a froyo bar. It's not justice, it's emotional improv night.
All right, brace yourself. Here comes the stat. 56% of young liberal white women have been treated for mental illness. Is this a crisis, a punchline, or a new marketing demographic for antidepressants?
Honestly, the pharmaceutical industry must be doing cartwheels, but statistically, it's fascinating. Maybe political activism is just a side effect of not enough vitamin D. Or maybe the left's only recruitment criteria is must have at least 3 diagnoses and own a bullhorn.
So if your dinner date pulls out DSM-5 to check your privilege, should you run or just order dessert?
Neither. Politely ask if she'll split the bill then duck when she throws it at you for perpetuating the patriarchy. It's all part of the experience.
Let's follow the money trail. Who's actually funding these protests and riots? Is there a secret bat signal for anarchists funded by billionaires named George?
There's definitely a Soros-themed bat cave somewhere, probably with a slide. But seriously, a lot of these groups get funding from activist networks, some government grants, and a sprinkling of mysterious donors who never show up for the group photo. It's the first time socialism's been so profitable.
So it's less grassroots and more astroturfe grass, fake outrage, real property damage. Are these groups truly motivated by ideals, or is it just a gig economy for professional sign makers?
It's a mix. Some are idealists, some just love smashing stuff, and others are in it for the free snacks. But let's be honest, if you're getting paid to protest, at least update your LinkedIn profile to Agent of Chaos Freelance.
Switching gears, why has patriotism among young Americans cratered faster than my crypto portfolio? Only 18% say they're proud to be American. Is the Founding Fathers PR firm just asleep at the wheel?
They're too busy trying to get Thomas Jefferson trending on TikTok. But the data's wild. Nearly half of young adults prefer socialism, and a third see the founders as villains. Maybe the solution is to put Hamilton back on Broadway, but with more lasers.
And the education system seems to be swapping out history class for America, the villain origin story. Is there any hope to reverse this, or should we just embrace the musical numbers?
Only if we can get Lin-Manuel Miranda to write a banger called Federalist Papers, the remix. Until then, we'll have to settle for explaining to students that the Bill of Rights isn't a BuzzFeed quiz.
As we wrap up, it's time for the existential question. Who do you trust? With government trust ratings in freefall, is the only reliable institution my neighbor's dog who barks at delivery men?
Honestly, the dog's batting average is higher than most news anchors. The information crisis means everyone's skeptical. Nobody believes the experts, and the only verified source is your uncle's Facebook post provided it's been fact-checked by at least 3 Minions memes.
So, are we living through the Tower of Babel too, or is there hope for rebuilding trust?
Hope springs eternal. Maybe if we all start speaking in interpretive dancer, just agree to fact-check before rage posting, we can find our way back. Until then, remember, trust, but verify. And if that fails, always trust the host who brings snacks.